Sally Field's life story, like many, begins with the painful imprint of a broken childhood. Born on November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, Sally's early life was marked by instability. Her parents divorced when she was just 4 years old, and she found herself caught in the middle of a fractured home. Growing up in the 1950s, divorce carried a heavy stigma, and Sally felt the deep impact of that loss, losing not only her father, but the sense of security and stability that should have been her foundation. With a mother who was often absorbed by her work as an actress and a distant, authoritarian father, Sally's formative years were shaped by absence and emotional voids. The lack of warmth and connection created a quiet tragedy in her childhood, one that would follow her through her career and personal life. A new family, a darker reality. In the wake of her parents' divorce, Sally's mother remarried Jock Mahoney, a stuntman and actor who seemed charming to the outside world but concealed a much darker side. This marriage exposed Sally to emotional and psychological abuse that would haunt her for years. In her memoir, In Pieces, Sally revealed the deep scars left by Mahoney's manipulative behavior and the painful betrayal of her mother's silence. Her mother, Margaret Field, never acknowledged the abuse, leaving Sally to carry the weight alone. The experience left Sally with a fractured sense of trust and an understanding of love that was skewed by manipulation and silence. This period of her life was marked by isolation, pain, and a desperate search for a way out, a search that would eventually lead her to acting. The struggles behind the smile. Despite her rising career, Sally's personal struggles never fully dissipated. By the time she reached her late teens, Sally had already become a household name, thanks to roles in sitcoms like The Flying Nun, 1967. But while her public persona radiated innocence and charm, privately, she was grappling with deep emotional wounds. The roles that made her famous often felt like a trap, reinforcing the very stereotypes she was desperate to escape. As The Flying Nun became a massive hit, Sally began to feel suffocated by her image as the sweet, innocent girl next door. The pressure to maintain that image, coupled with the emotional strain of her personal life, left her feeling empty and disconnected. Acting, which had once been her escape, now felt like a prison. Breaking free, Sally's bold choice. By the late 1960s, Sally Field was at a crossroads in her career. She had achieved success in light-hearted sitcoms, but she was beginning to feel trapped by her image. In 1970, she made a bold decision that shocked Hollywood. She walked away from sitcom roles. At just 22 years old, Sally chose to leave behind the very career that had made her a household name. This decision was risky, especially at a time when young women in Hollywood had few opportunities outside of comedy. Industry insiders dismissed her as a has-been before she'd even had the chance to explore serious acting. But Sally wasn't interested in fame or validation. She was fighting for her own voice, for the chance to be seen as more than a pretty face. She delved into method acting, training at Lee Strasberg's Actors Studio, and began to confront her past traumas head-on. The breakthrough? Sybil and proving her talent. In 1976, Sally Field's career took a dramatic turn with her portrayal of Sybil, a woman suffering from dissociative identity disorder. The role required Sally to embody multiple personalities, each one distinct and complex. This was a far cry from the cheerful sitcom roles she had once played, and it marked a pivotal moment in her acting career. The role was emotionally taxing, but it also allowed Sally to showcase a depth of talent that had been previously hidden. As she immersed herself in the character's fractured psyche, Sally was able to channel her own pain into her performance, creating something profoundly moving. The result was nothing short of extraordinary. Sally earned her first Emmy Award for Sybil, and for the first time, Hollywood recognized her as more than just a pretty face. She had proven herself to be a serious, powerful actress. Norma Rae, a career-defining role. In 1979, Sally Field took on another transformative role in Norma Rae, the story of a working-class woman who fights for workers' rights in a southern textile mill. The film was deeply personal for Sally, as it resonated with her own struggles with identity and self-worth. Playing Norma, a woman who fought to be heard and respected, Sally found herself not just acting, but living the character's pain and determination. The film's success wasn't just about the performance, it was a testament to Sally's own resilience. For the first time in her career, she was seen for who she truly was, a woman who had faced unimaginable hardship and emerged stronger. Her Oscar win for Best Actress in 1980 was a triumph, not just for the character of Norma Rae, but for Sally herself, proving to the world that she was capable of greatness. The cost of authenticity, personal struggles, and heartbreak. Despite her career triumphs, Sally's personal life remained a source of heartache. Fame and success did little to shield her from the vulnerabilities of love and relationships. Sally's first marriage to her high school sweetheart, Stephen Craig, ended in divorce in 1975. The relationship, like many of Sally's, was marked by emotional distance and unmet needs. She later entered a highly publicized relationship with Burt Reynolds, whom she met while filming Smokey and the Bandit in 1977. To the outside world, they were the perfect Hollywood couple. However, behind closed doors, the relationship was far more complicated. Burt was often dismissive of Sally's talent, and their relationship was fraught with insecurity and emotional turmoil. Their breakup in 1982 was painful for Sally, as she had invested so much emotionally in a relationship that ultimately left her feeling unworthy. A second chance at love. Finding stability after her tumultuous relationship with Burt Reynolds, Sally Field found love again with producer Alan Greisman, whom she married in 1984. This time, Sally was seeking stability, and she found it in a quieter, more grounded relationship, and Alan provided her with the support and understanding she had longed for in her earlier years. Together, they built a family and a life that was more private and less defined by the pressures of Hollywood. While their marriage was not without challenges, it offered Sally a sense of peace that had eluded her in her earlier relationships. Alan became a source of comfort, and the couple enjoyed a more serene life away from the prying eyes of the public. Their union gave Sally the chance to heal from past wounds and focus on her family and personal growth. Sally Field, a legacy of strength and resilience. At 78, Sally Field's legacy is not defined by her early sitcom roles or her Oscar-winning performances. It's defined by her resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. Throughout her life, she has faced personal trauma, public scrutiny, and emotional heartbreak. Yet, through it all, she has remained a figure of strength, using her pain to fuel her artistry and her personal growth. Sally's journey is a testament to the power of survival and the importance of authenticity. She has never shied away from her past, instead using it to shape her performances and her life. Today, Sally Field's story is one of triumph, not just in her career, but in her ability to overcome the wounds of her past and continue moving forward with grace and resilience.